Okay.
One of your big sort of causes is the fight over social justice.
Yeah.
Obviously, the term social justice is very contentious. So how do you define social justice, and what do you think is wrong with social justice?
Yeah, I mean, I think social justice classically is defined as the redistribution of wealth, privileges, and opportunities. Social justice is about equity, not equality, right? Not what we all grew up with, equal opportunity, but equity, equal outcomes. So it's redistribution with a view toward achieving equal outcomes for various specified groups. Again, there's a lot more, involved in that, but that's the basic definition of it.
And how do you think that comes into conflict? 'Cause you've talked a lot about this with Christianity and religious practice generally, because there are obviously a lot of social justice infused Christian teachings.
Yeah, it's awful, but I think the clearest conflict is seen, when Jesus, in one of his parables, talks about the parable of the talents, right? And you have the owner who gives, different talents to different workers, right? There's one, and then, there's two, and then there's five. He comes back, and one of them has done better with his talents than the others. And he doesn't take from the one who did poorly or take from the one who did well and give to the one who did poorly. He actually takes away from the one who did poorly and gives it to the one who does well. I refer to that parable because it really flies in the face of the idea that the Christian attitude ought to be equal outcomes. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Christian attitude is justice writ large, right? God's justice, the righteous and equal application of God's law, but not equal outcomes.
So when it comes to group redistribution, which is really what I think social justice is very into. Now, obviously, social justice has an individual component. There are people who believe that every individual should come out evenly, which essentially amounts to communism. But it seems like in today's day and age, it's more about group redistributive justice.
Yes.
There are certain groups who've been put upon.
Yes.
There are certain groups that have more systemic power.
Yes.
So how do you reconcile the reality, which is that certain groups have been put upon and certain groups have discriminated against those groups, with solution making that doesn't violate the precepts of individual justice?
I think for most of us, we would say, show me the injustice and I will gird up with you and we'll go deal with it. So, but what people are doing is they're not saying, no, there's this law over here. And this group of people is being put upon by this law over here. Because you and I would both, right, say, let's go. No. They're saying, there's disparity in outcomes, and that in and of itself is the injustice. And so now we're fighting ghosts.